Borosil Renewables Energy. So we again welcome you for this webinar that we have organized on solar glass. What exactly is solar glass? How is global solar glass market, including the Indian market, as well as how important the solar glass in the entire PV value chain, and how, as a company, Borosil Renewables will be able to help you in your PV modules as well as the other businesses. I would like to welcome you. There are few colleagues from overseas geographies, primarily Germany and Turkey. We would like to welcome them along with our Indian customers as well as other associates. I hope everyone of you and your family and other colleagues are doing well amidst these difficult times. I hope you are safe and at home. We wish a quick recovery to the normalcy, and all these difficulties, and we are sure that we can put them behind. We will emerge as stronger than what we were, and certainly have a good future in ahead of us. Here from Borosil Renewables Limited side, I have our senior colleagues. I'll start with our whole-time director, Mr. Ashok Jain, our international sales head, Mr. PVS Raju, our domestic sales head, Mr. Asit Saha, our quality head, Mr. MV Ramana, and along with them, we have our sales and marketing team present to take you through this presentation firstly, and we'll do it for at least 35 to 40 minutes, and then later on we'll take your questions. So far, some of you have been very kind enough to share the questions with us in advance, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible. But in case if we miss any of the questions due to paucity of time, we would certainly ensure that those questions are answered either directly over the phone call or at least over the emails. In case if your questions are not answered or missed by us, please feel free to contact us, as in our sales contacts, as well as you can directly write to me. So we'll start. I mean, just before starting, just a small request again that I would like to make is that please put your audios on mute. Also videos on disabled mode, cameras on disabled mode, so that we will conserve some bandwidth, because there, in addition to the presentation, I would be also showing some videos, which then will help you to have the streaming without any problem as such. So another request that I would like to make is not put any annotation requests. And finally, if you have any question, please place it in a chat section that is there, rather than unmuting and pausing the presentation. You can, at any point in time, if you have any question, please put it in the chat mode. We are seeing the chat regularly, and we would definitely like to answer them at the end of the session. So welcome again, all of you. I will start with the agenda. So we would first start with our introduction and overview of this Borosil group that all of you have been associated with so far for some reason or the other. Then we'll come to another section, that how important is solar glass from the perspective of solar module as well as PV industry, and what is the importance of selecting the best quality glass for your solar modules. Then we'll go to the solar glass market in India. We'll talk about demand supply scenario. Then we'll also touch upon the aspects, since many of the questions that you have directed is manufacturing. What is the competitive advantage that is present in the manufacturing industry today, manufacturing in China per se versus India. Then we'll come to a specific aspect of how Borosil Renewables products are relevant to you all as a customer or other associates. And at the end of the session, we'll talk about our customers, our focus on qualities, and certifications that we have that make us relevant to the high quality solar glass industry. So I would like to start with the introduction to the Borosil Group. Although many of you have been familiar with the group, but we should start with the introduction. So Borosil brand, as you may have been knowing it for long, when in fact when we all of us were children in school and colleges, laboratories, we used to have these burettes and pipettes of Borosil at least 30 to 40 years ago and more than that. But for over half a century, the brand Borosil has answered customers' needs with continuous innovation. It may be small, big, and with these innovations, we have been able to successfully emerge as a leading glass and glassware company in India. So the pride that we take is in innovations in the various aspects, not only the products, but as well as the manufacturing process and the supply chain that we use. The innovation is a core of our industry. And as we go ahead in the presentation, I will let you know so many innovations that are done in the solar PV segment also, as far as solar glass is concerned. So this is the group. I mean, Borosil Group presently is driven by our promoters. All three generations are actively driving it. Mr. B.L. Kheruka, Mr. Pradeep Kheruka, and the youngest third generation entrepreneur is Mr. Shrivar Kheruka. If I have to tell you the broad spread of the group today operates in four main segments. First is consumer products. Secondly, the scientific industrial laboratory glassware, that has been the traditional core strength of Borosil. We have also entered into pharmaceutical packaging. And finally, the today's relevant sector that we're talking about is high performance textured solar glass is being supplied by us, that is Borosil Renewables Limited. You have been knowing this company for long, rather more than a decade, by the name of Gujarat Borosil Limited, which got amalgamated into Borosil Glassworks Limited, and the change of name has happened subsequent to that, and it is called now Borosil Renewables Limited. We'll come to that why we changed the name. I have a small video to show you. But again, the path that we have been taking for this last decade as far as solar glass is concerned, and also the other segment of the Borosil Group is the innovations. So high growth that you are seeing on the graph we have. So we have grown. Let's say I'll start with financial year 2012-13. We have been a company where the net revenue of group has been of the order of 35 million USD. Today we expect to reach 130 million USDs in financial year 20 that has just gone by. This number could have been definitely more as the normal course of business has taken place due to hiccups in the business during 2 months of the financial year. But still, we have been able to manage the revenue of the order. We will be able to manage the revenue to reach to 130 USD million. From the perspective of Borosil Renewables, we started with, I mean, the number was 15 million USD. Today, last financial year, we have doubled the revenue. So if you see the group revenue growth, we have been able to get a revenue growth of more than 20% year on year. So that has been the growth story fueled by the innovations and customer centricity. I'll just show you a small video which talks about our values, our business, and why did we change the name to Borosil Renewables Limited, and what are we planning to do in future. So I'll take you to the video. So, as that, with this name change, we would definitely like to grow our horizons from solar glass supplying company to many other areas where we will be able to impact the performance of your plants, your manufacturing plants, your solar plants, and help you to achieve your returns, enhance your returns. So, how to enhance the performance of solar modules as well as solar plant is the area of focus that we'll have along with the supply of solar glass in future. So we have our state-of-the-art manufacturing facility at Bharuch, Gujarat. The total manufacturing capacity in terms of equivalent gigawatts, just to give you an idea, it is around 2.5, 2.5 gigawatt per annum. And we have the necessary accreditations of ISO as well as those received from TUV. So when I speak of the manufacturing capacity of 2.5 2.5 gigawatt, we have recently expanded and reached this 2.5 gigawatt. Just to give you an idea of about the scale, we give an employment to around 1,000 people directly or indirectly working on our roads at a time in the during the period of the year. 2,000 people are directly or indirectly employed by us. We also give, because of this Gujarat Gurukul, we have been able to give boost to the local economy. So we are the relevant player in the Bharuch industrial area. How we manufacture the glass and how we ensure the quality, if you read through the names that are mentioned in the slide, the suppliers and the equipment, you would realize that these are the best in the class equipment and as well as equipment suppliers. And with these names, and since their performance has been very good over the period of time, the quality of glass that we supply has been the best in class. Starting from annealing, cutting, washing, and anti-reflective coating or the glass loading, the automatic glass loading rather, the manual interference is minimized and ultimately you get a high quality glass for your solar modules. This is a very novel thing that we have in our equipment portfolio. This is a trend-setting technology, tempering line, where the glass floats in the air cushion rather, and the glass is fully tempered. So with this, we are able to temper a glass which is as thin as 2 millimeter thickness. So this is the most recent one in our addition in our portfolio. Then I'll come to solar glass. Although most of you have been familiar with this product, the textured solar glass is one of the most important components of solar PV module, which protects solar cells, which is the most expensive and most important part of the solar module, against the external factors, the damage due to water vapor or dirt or even the impacts. Those are protected to a large extent solely because of the solar glass, the kind of mechanical strength that it has. The external factors are stopped at the surface only. It also offers the low reflection, high transmittivity, and as I said, it also offers the mechanical strength. So solar glass sits at the top of the module, as well as in some cases where there is no backsheet, especially in glass modules or bifacial modules. The solar glass is also used at the bottom of the back side of the solar glass. So I'll just quickly take you through the manufacturing process. The first part of manufacturing process of solar glass is batch processing and glass melting. So you must be seeing these pictures. These are loading silos. In these loading silos, the raw material, let's say quartz, sand, silica sand rather, dolomite, limestone, calcium carbonate, soda ash, feldspar, sodium nitrate, aluminum hydrate, and so many other ingredients are loaded from these silos. and they are fed to something called furnace. So this is a typical furnace where all this batch mix is put into the furnace, where it is heated up to 1530 degrees Celsius. So I request again everyone to be on mute so that there is no echo. Then when this glass is, the batch mix molten, the hot molten mixture is then cooled down to make a glass solid, which is called a formation process. So batch processing and glass melting is something that we have seen. Then the glass rolls out of the furnace, and it is then the process is then called the rolling process. So the temperature comes down to around 1100 degrees Celsius. It is then passed between the two rollers. These two rollers that you have seen, they impart a particular texture as well as thickness to the glass, and ultimately on the lower rollers the glass comes out. You can see a glass actually coming out of this furnace over here and getting rolled on the rollers. Then next process is called annealing. The process of annealing is nothing else but it slowly cools down the whole the hot glass after it is formed out of furnace. And since it has been hot, there are certain stresses involved into this glass. By annealing, we relieve those stresses so that the strain inside the glass is minimized, and glass is good for the next manufacturing process. So we have seen rolling and annealing as a next step after the glass formation. So now that glass ribbon is formed, glass is formed as a ribbon, we just cut it using the carbide cutting wheels as per the customer requirement. So customers have specific sizes in their mind when they place a PO. As per those requirements, we cut the glass on the parallel as well as the perpendicular. So x-axis as well as y-axis, we cut it along, and the glass of specific requirement is given. Then we grind the glass. The glass edges are ground edges as well as the corners. And if you see the technology that we have, the glass is fixed by the vacuum belt so that nothing touches the glass and the quality is retained to the best. Then we wash the glass with the world-class instrument that you have seen in the previous slides. Then ultimately, the anti-reflective coating and tempering process are the next main part of the process. Anti-reflective coating, as you know, it imparts, we impart a kind of coating dielectric material on the surface of glass, which minimizes the reflection, and ultimately the transmission is enhanced from 1.5 to 2.5%. That much of a yield, higher yield you are able to get with these ARC coatings. I'll come to the anti-reflective coating part, how we ensure that best anti-reflective coating is applied to you. I'll come to that later during the class. And we use a very clean kind of a area for this anti-reflective. You can see this particular picture where the glass is going inside the anti-reflective coating machine rather. Then we go to the glass goes to a tempering section. This is the process is called tempering. Toughening is a simpler word for this. The glass is placed on a roller table, and then it goes to a chamber, or rather simply put a furnace, kind of furnace, where it heats up to a temperature of 564 to 620 degrees Celsius. It gets compressed, the outer surface gets compressed and inner surface gets tense, so that these stresses actually make the glass toughened. So ultimately, if it breaks, and whenever it breaks, it crumbles into a small granular chunks instead of big pieces that otherwise any glass would have broken into. So if you have seen some accident on road, the kind of pieces that you see are very small. These smaller granular chunks are likely to cause injury to the people working around the shop floor, as well as the glass or the solar modules when it is placed on a field and something happens to the module. So we ensure that tempering is done to the best, so that the product that we supply is also safe, rather, in addition to the high performance. Then finally, the most important part after the manufacturing is concluded, the quality inspection. There is 100% visual inspection, which is ensured to take label positions, scratches, bubbles, and other small visual defects, so as to bring the glass in line with the specifications. Then the ball drop test. I mean, take a tube which is like 1 meter high and keep it in the middle of the glass, and then drop a ball onto it. If it breaks and subsequently 3 pieces also break, we reject the batch as well as the lot altogether. Then we do fragmentation test on the samples in order to ensure the size of the breaking and also the breaking pattern. And the bending strength test, I have a video to show at a later stage to assess what is a bending strength of a glass as compared to the specifications. So after the glass passes through these quality inspection standards, it is packed and ultimately dispatched to you either by road or by ship based on your location, domestically or internationally. So this is in short the glass manufacturing process we thought we should show you before we move on to the other aspects like why glass selection is most important. So I mean, if you see, there are typical failures. Few of them can be classified as infant failures or midlife failures or wear out failures of solar PV modules based on the time duration they happen during the life of the solar module. So in failures happen typically within the next few months of module getting installed on the field. So if you see, we have tried, so this is a very famous graph that is captured based on the study of International Energy Agency. So in the infant failure modes, there are breakages. In the midlife failures, there are potential induced degradations, glass anti-reflective coating degradation, and glass breakages in long term. So these things are very important as far as the life of the module is concerned, as well as the performance of the module is concerned. Just to give you the spread in terms of percentages, if I see the initial life, and again this is based on the IEA, International Energy Agency study, they analyzed 2 million modules, and I mean the ages between 0 to 2 years. 10% of the cases they found the glass breakages. But if you do this study for a longer period, let's say 8 years, they did it for 21 the module manufacturers globally. They found that glass and encapsulations and backsheet contribute to as 40%. So when I say glass and encapsulation and backsheet, it not only has the breakages, but it also has PID, coating degradation, spontaneous breakages, etc. So if so much of a portion is prone to the failures, it is very important to select the high quality glass as well as backsheet and encapsulation for your solar modules. And based on the process that we have shown, we are sure that we take utmost care and selecting these raw materials as well as the manufacturing process altogether, how the process is controlled as well as the process parameters are ensured, so that ultimately a high quality glass is supplied to you after it gets manufactured, as well as packed and dispatched for you to have your modules manufactured. So I'll come to the next aspect of solar glass market in India. I mean, if I see the most conservative estimate, I think we should be more conservative now. Let's put a number to manufacturing capacity, rather the manufacturing output, annual output as 5 gigawatt, or in terms of glass output per day, it is around 725 tons per day is a glass equivalent output that this 5 gigawatt capacity needs. Borosil Renewables Limited is the only Indian manufacturer. We have a capacity of nearly 2.5 gigawatt, and we also supply to the export. So if I have to give you tons per day numbers, we have recently expanded, and the capacity addition is of the order of 230 tons per day in this August 19, the last August that has gone by. But we have also rebuilt our old furnace, or the first furnace, in the month of December, and reached to a figure of 210 tons per day. So presently we have an installed capacity of 440 tons per day, and we are also actively involved discussing our expansion plans, and we will conclude them in the due course of time so as to supply to India as well as the global market with the best quality glass. Yeah, so I think this is the most dear aspect to us as glass suppliers as well as the module manufacturers in India as well as many other geographies, including Europe and others. So, what is a competitive landscape that we have for Borosil as an Indian glass manufacturer? If I and I am just comparing it with the Chinese glass manufacturers who are the leading suppliers in the global glass industry as well as global. And many of these comparisons are applicable ditto to module manufacturers. So if I go to China, the land and availability of land is ensured by the local governments, the regional governments. Here in India and many other geographies, advanced geographies, the full costs are to be absorbed by the project as or the promoters as compared to the leases available in China. When it comes to utility and infrastructure, the utilities, I mean, this is the most important aspect even I mean, here in India. China, the utilities are provided at the plant boundaries, whereas there are certain areas where the manufacturers in India and abroad, they have to keep working on their own to ensure that road, power and pipelines are ensured, and they have to contribute a lot on that. The plant and machinery, there are special setups available in China. The design as well as fabrication is very good. It's available in local manufacturing industry itself, whereas there is some portion that we have to import from Western as well as European geographies as far as the Borosil renewables is concerned, and they are at substantially high price compared to those available in China and other East Asian geographies. And of course, the scale in which these two geographies operate is completely different. There are Chinese and East Asian manufacturers, they get a huge advantage of scale, and that leads to a cost saving. Project finance cost, I mean, this is again a key area where of course, the rates have now started coming down recently. I have just put a number of 10 to 12% comparable interest rate during construction as compared to 0 to 5% that are availed by our Chinese counterparts. Hence, the Chinese or East Asian economies have been able to save a cost by 15 to 25% as compared to us Indian manufacturers, and more even higher in case of European manufacturers. Financing costs, again, although they are 10 to 11%, but our Chinese and East Asian counterparts get a very cheap very low interest rates and easier terms, more importantly. There are tax rebates, income tax rebate applicable. Depreciations are different. Here we are prone to the regular income tax. Yeah, so again, the raw material is available at a, I mean, there are ecosystems available where all the related manufacturers are closed at the near vicinity, which helps them save the raw material cost in terms of inventory and the transportation. We have already seen the utility costs lower, subsidized, I would say. R&D cost, yeah, I mean, there, although the Indian and European companies have made significant inroads, but their government support to R&D in these Chinese and East Asian economies is substantially higher. There is the insurance facility better than as we have. We have also made significant improvements of late with the availability of insurance products. So there we have worked a lot. Logistics, yeah, Chinese industry is benefited by the logistics, lower logistics rates, as well as the availability of transport. And equally important aspect is the export-import benefits that we get are much fewer as compared to Chinese industry. So I'll come to the company-specific information. This is one chart where we show all our products at a time. I mean, glass composition. We have normal solar glass, as well as we have developed this anti-money free solar glass, which many of you would be aware. I'll come to it later. antimony is a toxic element which we have been able to remove from the solar glass manufacturing. We have added certain enhanced feature, and these are all new products. Shakti is a matte finished high efficiency solar glass where you will be able to get a higher transmission of 0.5% up to 0.5%. We have recently developed this anti-glare solar glass, which is called Selene, which is more important in terms of the PV installations near airport, where the glare caused by reflection from the solar modules is very prominent. There are complaints came across the geographies, and many Western geographies are now enforcing the use of anti-glare solar glass for solar modules. So we have a product ready and we have in discussion with many module manufacturers on this Selene, which is an anti-glare glass. When it comes to glass thickness, we have all the glass thicknesses available that are necessary for solar glass, solar PV, as well as other segments like BIPV, solar thermal, as well as the greenhouse. So we start with 4 mm, 3.2 mm. We have also, many of you have also started using 2.8 mm, 2.5 mm, and Borosil Renewable is the only company in the world who has been able to fully temper 2 mm glass, which is more relevant from the perspective of glass and bifacial modules that are going to be the future modules. So we have a product ready for futuristic modules. When it comes to sizes, we supply in n number of sizes based on the customer requirements for 60, 72, and 96 cell modules, as well as the small area modules. As I was saying, we are the first company in the world and only company in the world to fully temper the 2 mm solar glass, and that has been acknowledged by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra. I'll quickly go on to the other aspects like thinner glass up to 2 mm. I'll just try to show you a video before start with. So there are 3 unique aspects that this thinner glass has: a slightly higher transmission, enhanced mechanical strength, and long-term durability with the least degradation. I'll just take you through this video now. Called 4-point bending test. This is 2 mm thick glass. This is an annealed glass that we have. We are putting it on a 4-point bending machine where the force is now getting applied and glass is getting bent. So this is an annealed glass that you are seeing on it has broken. And if I have to show you the number, it's around 8 Newton per mm square. So now I'll put a fully tempered 2 mm thick glass on this 4-point bending machine, and we'll subject it to the strength, mechanical strength, force rather. So this is again put on the 4-point bending machine, and you see the kind of bend that it has been able to sustain. And ultimately, when it broke around 214 Newton per mm square. So it is 4 times stronger as compared to the annealed glass. And when it is subjected to fragment test, it meets all the requirements, and it is as safety as any other glass. So that's the unique feature that this glass has. So even if you compare it with heat strengthened glass that is supplied by most of the layers in the solar glass, it is twice stronger than the other glass suppliers. So this glass, 2 mm or the thinner glass rather, they are more applicable to bifacial frameless modules, glass modules, the modules that are used for floating solar applications, and BIPV. So why we have developed this glass? This is the famous graph. This is ITRP, the International Roadmap for PV, that has been published in 2019. If you see over the period of time, the bifacial modules are going to take over in a big way. In next 7 to 8 years, we are going to see more than 50% of bifacial capacity getting added every year. Because of that, there is a new demand that is created for back glass. Some of the portion is going to be captured by glass, the back sheet, which is very transparent. But if you see the portion of glass modules, it is also increasing considerably. And in order to have a product ready for this segment, we have developed a thinner glass which is as thin as 2 mm glass. So we'll come to this 2.8 and 2.5 mm solar glass. Again, I would like to refer to this ITRPV. If you see this glass, which is higher thickness than 3.3 mm, it is going to be a most penetrating glass. But if you see the other glass, which is between 2 and 3 mm, which is 2.5 and 2.8 mm, they are going to see a rapid rise in utilization. And you can also see a glass, thinner glass than 2 mm coming into picture after 2023. So just to give you the background, the 2 mm thickness glass is at least 15% lighter as compared to 3.2 mm. 2.5 is 20% thinner, and ultimately 2 mm glass 35% lighter as compared to the normal glass. So we will ultimately see the lighter modules, which will reduce the requirement of mounting structures, uh, which will again help you have a lower cost project cost. They also have a very high mechanical strength, at least 175 megapascals as compared to the 90 megapascals as mentioned in the specifications. And these two, 2.5 and 2.8, have a lower cost. So ultimately, you will be able to realize the higher returns for your modules, because you will end up saving some cost on these two types of glass. Ultimately, if you see, there are some of our customers who have already started using this glass. They have also obtained the certification for 2.8 and 2.5. So we clearly see the market moving towards the inner glass in future. Then we'll move on to the other glass, 2 mm glass. But I would like to take you through this small graph, which tells you the movement of frameless modules. So today the glass modules with frame are predominant, but the use of frameless modules is increasing in the future. The yellow thing that you see is increasing continuously. So ultimately, we'll come to this 2.0 mm thin glass. So if you see what they do, they use, instead of frames, they use the sealing material. If you use a proper edge sealing, we increase the module life up to 40% if we replace the backsheet by glass as a substrate. We end up having higher reliability, and ultimately, if you have a better product, you save on the cost of electricity, low LCOE, so low cost of ownership. Why did we say that durability? Because if you see various modules, glass to glass, used with the normal glass as well as the glass with backsheet, and you do these tests, the accelerated test, the PID at the end of 2000 R and on or 3000 R is lowest if you use 2.2 mm glass in front and back and use a proper edge sealing material like butyl. You get a glass which is most reliable. So glass to glass modules are 700 times more water vapor diffusion tight rather, and they work under the extreme environment conditions like high humidity, floating modules, high UV radiations, and where the mechanical forces like twisting of the platform. So we personally feel that our glass to glass modules are best suited for the floating solar, which is subjected to all these extreme environmental conditions. This is the Shakti glass that we have developed a pattern which is plain or matte on both the sides. So because of that, the scattering effect has been minimized, and you are able to get a higher model output at least by up to 0.5%. If you have, needless to say, higher transmission, we need to higher output and higher IRR to the ultimate developers. And also the modules are rated higher, so there is a higher returns to the module manufacturers also. With if we use the proper anti-reflective coating, we are able to get a higher transmission up to, it's higher than 94%. And the best part is there is no change that is necessary in bill of materials, so you can directly use matte glass as it is for module manufacturing without any change of certification. There are many countries in Europe, they have used matte glass, which seems to be a standard there. Then this is the anti-glare glass that we have been discussing. Glare is a problem as far as the pilots are concerned. There are pictures that are self-explanatory, and glare is a safety concerns for the pilots. I won't get into the numbers, but what we have now is an anti-glare glass. This is the certificate that we have got from renowned testing agency, SPF, they have certified us that the requirement for this anti-glare glass, the reflective luminance should be lower than 20,000. We have been able to get this reflective luminance to lower than 20,000, that is 19,000. We are well within the limits. SPF is considered to be the gold standard in the testing. Then anti-reflective coating. These are the this is the section that we inserted because many of you had the questions to us that explain more about anti-reflective coating. So we use globally renowned anti-reflective technologies that give at least 1.7% to as high as 2.3% higher transmission. We take utmost care while getting these people on board. We ensure that they are of highest durability, highest reflectivity, and optimum reflectivity, and the light transmission is the maximum. There are some of the tests that we have mentioned here, like this autoclave test, where the durability is tested. We also use them on module and try to do the filtrate and also assess various factors like cell to module loss, and during the manufacturing process with our associates. And field trials also are indicative that they give a good life as well as the higher generation. So there are some specific tests that we calculate just to show you. These are the tests that have been specifically carried out for Borosil by these leading global suppliers. And we go through so many tests. I mean, pressure cooker test, humidity freeze test, salt spray test, abrasion. These are all specified tests, and ultimately all these parameters, unless they are green, we don't use those cookers. These are the results that have been shared with us. So, the point is that we ensure that these anti-reflective coating are the best and best durable. This is the antimony free glass that we have developed. Antimony is a most toxic element today amongst the components of the solar PV. It leaches out from the glass. The leaching can be equated to sugar from a candy stick. It's as easy as that. Ultimately, when the modules are nowadays getting dumped in the landfills, the antimony will leach out, ultimately get into the soil, and it will mix up with the water and cause a havoc for the humanity as well as the other ecosystem around it. I mean, just to give you an example, there is no other glass that is used for other utensils has got antimony into it. Surprisingly, only solar glass has it. We have done the field trials and also obtained a certification from SPF for our antimony field glass. It gives clear performance as compared to the glass which has antimony. Some of our unique selling propositions, I would like to draw your attention to this graph where we have compared our transmission with three of the leading suppliers of solar glass, not only in India but globally. We have found that the transmission that our glass has been able to get consistently is higher as compared to these suppliers. I mean, the numbers are in front of you. We take pride in this as far as and it impacts our customers a lot. The other USPs are the long-term durability. Traditionally, the sodium content in our glass used to be low. Now the competition is also started catching up, but this low sodium leads to low PID. Our glass has a higher chemical durability, which leads to superior glass performance. The mechanical strength, you must have seen the video. It lasts much higher as compared to the least tungsten glass that is used, which is twice as strong, twice as compared to the least tungsten glass. It is safer since it is fully tempered. And the unique aspect, which has also helped us in reducing our cost, is the low carbon footprint. So there is a French agency called Solstice who have done the audit. They do the audit and give a certification. Borosil glass has one of the lowest carbon footprint. It is 22%. The carbon footprint or the energy consumption in our process is 22% lower as compared the industry averages, which has helped us reducing our cost and help us to sustain in the very tough competitive scenarios. So this is the 22% lower energy consumption that I spoke about. We are also trying, we have 1.5 megawatt of wind farm that supplies to our customers. So we are planning to have this 1 megawatt rooftop and 3.5 megawatt of ground mounted solar plants for us. So all the other lower fuel consumption pollution control measures are in place. We have a global footprint. Although around 80% of the glass is supplied to Indian market, we also have a very strong presence in European geographies. We have also expanded to US, that is North as well as South Americas, and we are trying to increase our footprint aggressively with our new products which are relevant to solar thermal as well as the greenhouse segments which are applicable to these American and European industries. I mean, speaking of the quality standards, we ensure that stringent quality and quality control as well as quality assurance process. We have 5 years training programs imparted. We have implemented OE, overall equipment effectiveness, and other aspects related to quality. These are the, I mean, all of you will be familiar with these certifications. These are the bare minimum certification that is necessary. And I'll just move on to the certificates which are relevant, issued by SPF. And the notable part is we take any thickness, we are P1, the highest graded certificate by SPF in all these three kind of classes. So this is the environment that we are working in, and we try our level best to ensure that you get a highest class, not only the product but as well as after sales service. Of course, there will be many areas where you would have a feedback to be given to us, and we would definitely like to have this feedback so that we will continue to improve our product in future, and would like to be relevant to in terms of glass. And we would certainly like to go on glass and have many new products which impact performance of solar modules in future. So we would like to take your questions. I'm sure you would have a lot of questions. Mention those questions. I would hello. Can I request you to go on mute, please? So I would request our whole-time director, Mr. Ashok Jain, to handle these questions. So, Jain sir, may I request you to be unmuted, please?
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jenso. Vishwas here from Shakti Pumps India.
I think the questions will have to go to the chat room because all the questions are getting centralized over there.
Okay.
Whatever questions we have received so far, I'll just try to take them. So first of all, let me thank Swapnil for the nice presentation and taking time to present it to the group. And I must thank all the participants for sparing their time to join this webinar. It throws up an opportunity for me to speak to the most important stakeholders in my business, as the existence of our business depends on them, that is you. I will like to answer some of the questions received in available time. Our sales team will get in touch with you for providing reply in case anything is. Can everybody put themselves on mute and video off, please? Because it's disturbing the. Yeah, thank you. So one of the questions was, what is the weight and height of the height when we consider when we do the Goldberg test? When the Goldberg test is done with a steel ball of 227 grams, and it is dropped from a height of 1 meter. Patches on oval shape. Somebody has asked why there are patches on the glass in the oval shape with rainbow shades. Now, what is the root cause? So, what we have tried to analyze this kind of problem is that generally it is depending on the storage conditions of the glass, and otherwise, generally the glass does not form rainbows like this. Then there is a question about what is the minimum thickness up to which that glass tempering can be done. So until some time back, until few years back, only up to 3.2 millimeter glass could have been tempered because that was the equipment available to do the tempering. Some people developed tempering of 2.5 millimeter. Borosil is the only company who went into 2 millimeter fully tempered glass, and we have been able to deliver 2 millimeter fully tempered glass to all our European customers. In India, the demand for 2 millimeter glass is still to pick up. Then somebody asks, is Gujarat Borosil having facility to check the transmittive and air coating of the glass? So the answer is yes, we have in-house equipment to measure the transmission of the glass, both for air coating and only tempered glass. So we do it with a very fine equipment. Then another question is that now module size is increasing for higher voltage. So whether 2 millimeter can sustain and will be sufficient strength. So our thinner glass is capable of withstanding up to over 180 megapixel in 4-point bending test as shown in the video. This is much stronger than a heat strengthened glass. So what is available from outside world is HS glass, heat strengthened glass, or a chemical tempered glass, which is not exactly the safety glass as we would like to use in solar modules. So Borosil is the company who is able to offer this product. Then we have some question about why the company has changed the name to Borosil Renewables. So I think it was captured in the initial presentation. So the basic idea is to, with Gujarat Borosil name, there was no a line of business or product line associated with the name, and it was not representing the true character or true value of the business. So we try to change it to Borosil Renewables, which will be a larger subject for us. And whenever there are other opportunities in the same vertical, we will like to take it up to provide value-added product to our customers. Then there is a question about what is the impact of COVID situation in India or on the solar PV installations. So well, this is the whole world is going through this unprecedented situation. All of us are having to go through this, and the general sentiment is that there will be some drop in the demand for every product, and solar cannot be possibly left out. So there will have to be certain effort from the government. I believe MNRE is taking a lot of effort to ensure that the installations continue as usual. However, we should not be optimistic. There will be certain challenge on the maintaining the demand. But if the government acts clearly and decisively about the safeguard duty and import duty on the solar modules, the manufacturing can still go on because the installations may not drop so substantially, and that should give us opportunity for module manufacturers to keep producing. It may take little time because temporarily the things are totally in disarray, and nobody is though the authorities have allowed from the central government, still many plants have yet to open. So this is a challenge which we all have to face. There is another question regarding how much percentage of glass are being imported in India and how much is produced domestically. So, well, Borosil Renewable is the only company in India to produce solar tempered glass, and rest all other glass is coming by way of imports, which are mostly from China and Malaysia. The imports are constituting about 65% as of now, and it's likely to drop to some extent because Borosil Renewable, our company's second plant started, and now we are operating 2 furnaces from December. So our share in the business is likely to go up going forward. And since there is a lot of scope to expand our capacity because the imports are still high, we are continuously evaluating our plans to expand further. Yeah, we of course got a setback in our thought process because of this COVID situation, but I think we'll soon be on the drawing board to reevaluate the further growth program. So this should happen in anywhere in 2021-22. Then one question is about which all other segments are serviced by Borosil. So solar PV industry is the major segment. And then we have solar thermal as our one of the major buyers. And in global context, we have a lot of presence in solar thermal, but in India, I think the presence is very little. The other segment which we are catering is greenhouse segment, which is again mainly in the exports. So the questions are coming up still, I think, and there are a lot of technical other questions. Yeah, some people are requesting to share some documents. I think our team will take care of it in due course, and the respective customers will be replied with the necessary answers, including the certificates wherever it is possible. Regarding the PID, I think it is suitably replied. And regarding there is one question about whether 2 millimeter or 2.5 millimeter, which is the better product to use for bifacial. So, well, it depends on your application, but as far as we have observed it, the transmission is better in thinner glass. So, if you use 2 millimeter glass, it will be much better. You will get much better output. Although cost may be slightly higher, but you will get a much better product. So these are a couple of questions. I think questions are still coming up regarding ARC and other things. Our sales team will and quality team will definitely try to address all this. May I now hand it over to the host, please?
Thank you very much, sir, for. I mean, it's already 4 o'clock. I think we are overshooting the time. We would definitely like to answer your questions, and we will not let any question unanswered. So, what we request in the best for which is best for everyone is to have these 2 email IDs noted down. Please send your questions to us. We would definitely like to answer your questions. We will answer it over the email, or if necessary, we can have direct communication with you over the phone or video conference as it may be suitable. So please write to us immediately on these questions. Ultimately, what I mean, I hope you have enjoyed this session. This session would have helped you improve your knowledge as far as the solar glass is concerned. I mean, these are the times where all of us could work together. This is one unintended benefit of this COVID situation today. We hope this situation ends very quickly, and all of us will be able to meet face to face and do the transaction that we have been doing in past and would like to do new transactions in future. I pray for the quick recovery of the entire world from this pandemic. And all of you, please take care of yourself and your family. Please take care and stay safe. Goodbye to you. Thanks. Thank you everyone for joining, and thanks to my team who have supported this webinar. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.